Hey everybody, want to Wisdom here. It is roughly like 4 in the morning, I think. Thursday, the 27th of March. Pretty sure that's correct. Um, Pretty exciting day yesterday. That is, we came in, no dice at Target. They had nothing. Did have two Nitro Freeze Blazes, just to update you. My Toys R Us has all the springtime characters in the back in a box. It's dated for 4/6. Told them, the street date's been lifted. You can sell them. You can ring it up. And didn't get anywhere. And wrote it off. I thought, well, I've got to go into Walmart. That's where everybody's seeing the ELCSS. Maybe I'll get lucky there. But before I did that, I actually called over to GameStop just because it's kind of out of the way with the errands I was running. They had everything, and went in there, picked it up, and then as fate would have it, I ran into Walmart, and I actually ascertained Enchanted LightCore Starstrike. I know most of you have had her for quite some time. She's literally never been in my area until today, so that's what we're going to take a look at now. However, I opened up with that for the simple fact, if you recall when we unboxed Springtime Trigger Happy, the back of the box, basically indicated he'd only work in Swap Force. I said, it should work in the previous two games, just probably won't come up in the pastel colors. Well, I need a portal, obviously, to showcase the LightCore effect. This is my trusty wireless portal from the Wii days. And funny story, I'll cover on that in a second. But went ahead, I fired up Giants. I just picked it, and obviously I need that on for the portal to work. But went ahead, I just threw Springtime Trigger Happy on the Portal of Power. And he registers, oddly enough. It's standard colors, looks just like your typical Trigger Happy, but he registers a Series 2 Special Trigger Happy. That's kind of weird because Big Bang Trigger Happy is Series 3 Trigger Happy. So, not quite sure what's up with that, but nonetheless, you will, if this is Swap Force is your first Skylanders game, you can actually use Springtime Trigger Happy and, get the Trigger Happy experience in SSA and Giants. So, that said, what we're going to do now is we're actually going to unbox this mystical little lady here that has eluded me for so long. It is Enchanted LightCore Starstrike. I have still never gotten to get Enchanted Hootloop out in the sun. There he is. I wanted to make sure I had him here. Bear with me, I am pretty dadgum tired. But, complaint that people have on her, aside from, not being able to locate her, is simply the fact that the paint job isn't that good. Springtime Trigger Happy, also, I need to clarify there, I mentioned they overlaid the purple into the mouth. When I actually just shot the pictures that I post on the blog, I noticed that his teeth were actually not purple. They're kind of like a gray. It just kind of blends in if you don't pay really close attention. So I would have to say that all deco is done extremely well. Now, with Enchanted LightCore Starstrike, I don't know if you can see it in there or not, but there's kind of like some, you can see the black through the white in places. It's kind of gummed up in areas. I did comb through. They had quite a few of these, but they were strung out all over, hidden behind things, some on ones. They weren't orderly, in other words. This one right here that I'm not going to open up, it is actually a significantly better paint job. I don't know if the camera's going to showcase that to you or not. Trust me when I say that. So if you're particular, even if you're going to open it up and play with it, if you want to start with something that's as close to perfect as you can get, go ahead whenever you pick these up and just kind of comb over the selections and, try to pick up the one that you think looks the best. But since she is at Walmart, the price is $12.96. I guess you save those 3 cents for dealing with all the other headaches that comes with going in that place. Note, just like we've seen for quite some time now, that's not a sticker. It's actually a printed label. That's very nice. I'm not a huge fan of LightCore characters the way they're currently structured. I've covered that in detail multiple times. Again, for me, it comes down to the fact I realize she wouldn't have one, but they're excluded from WoW Power capabilities. And I don't like the fact that the flash bomb effect can't be recharged or used at the player's discretion. That's basically it in a nutshell. But this is pretty cool. Starstrike is actually a pretty fun character. Again, when I was at E3, spent a lot of time talking to the developers as opposed to recording gameplay. And she was listed amongst their favorite characters, so that was pretty interesting. But that said, she joins I need to grab those. There will be pictures on the blog, but she joined Star Strike and obviously LightCore Star Strike. Like I said, those would probably be here if this wasn't 4 in the morning. But anyway, LightCore packaging, typical what you see there. Instead of being rounded off or curved, it's kind of got like a slash. They do their best to indicate that, hey, this is special, you know, for whatever it's worth. Obviously hanging on a peg. You have to realize not everyone is going to be up to the minute, have their life simultaneously revolve around what it should in Skylanders, so they may not know what a LightCore figure is. Hence the fact you've got LightCore printed boldly there. You got Prism Break, again, which is still, in my opinion, one of the best LightCores to date. And then, of course, right here, you've got the holographic effect, and more importantly, once again, Prism Break with lights up. They're trying their best to indicate to the buyer, hey, this is special, it's a little different than what you might be used to. So, nonetheless, Enchanted Star Strike is the name here. Magic Element, obviously, she is a Swap Force Newlander. We'll spin this thing around. Fittingly enough, LightCore Star Strike is our feature character. I guess that kind of covers me for not having characters here. Poses very similar, slightly different. Obviously, the main thing is the light up effect, which you can see right there on LightCore Star Strike. Now, coming down, Enchanted Star Strike should look slightly different in the game, just like the figure. That'll be a neat thing to check out. She is LightCore. She's got the LightCore power and the Flash Bomb effect. Coming down, the other featured characters, LightCore Countdown, Whamshell, Smolderdash, and Flashwing. Only LightCore we're really missing at this point in time is Bumbleblast. Again, it's kind of sad that you got so many duplicates. I don't mind two. That way I can check both paths, but when you get into like Bumbleblast, LightCore Bumbleblast, and Jolly, that third man is kind of like the odd man out. You know, it's I kind of wish some other character would have gotten an allocation of either a Christmas figure or a LightCore rendition. You know, that's just me. As this case, unlike Springtime Trigger Happy, where you see these X's here, Enchanted Star Strike will not work at all in SSA or Giants, for the simple fact she makes her debut in Skylanders Swap Force. Now, let's go ahead and crank this out for you, see if we can't get her opened up. She's been out in Canada for a long time, and then people, I guess, that frequent Walmart or have well-managed stores or something, I've been able to get her for quite some time. She's literally, I mean, I knew she was made her way kind of like from the northeast down and then across to the west, and in that pattern I should have had her before people in California, and I could not find her. I did go in the store multiple times searching, and came up empty-handed here. Now, if you're the type of person that wants to reseal the packaging, that actually opened up very nicely. You could fold that over, you know, tape it. You're not going to be able to tell. If you want to go that route, go ahead and cut that tape right there. That way you won't mangle this thing when you get her out. But some of you also, I know, cut out the name tag to use for storage. But we'll go ahead and pop this down. I like to scoot that back, and then I come in and grab the base and then kind of manipulate the plastic. We freed Enchanted Star Strike. We'll check her out in detail here in a second. And now what we want to do is slide this card out, hopefully without bending it. We'll set her packaging down. I won't toss it since it's 4 in the morning. What you get aside from the figure, which is down below by Miss Punkshock, we have the holographic card. Again, that's kind of cool for the LightCore figures. Behind that, we have a sticker sheet. Note that that is showcasing the LightCore effect and the different look for Enchanted Star Strike. Below that is a name tag. Got a QR code and a web code down below that you can actually use in your iOS and Android applications. Now, taking a look at her card here. Power, 90 of 200. Armor, 80 of 200. Speed, 80 of 200. I'm trying to get that where the prism isn't in the camera for you. Luck, 80 of 200. So almost straight down across the board. That makes it easy to add up. 380s is 240, and a 90 is going to make that 330 out of a potential 800. So we'll go ahead and set that down now. I'll kind of twirl her around for you fittingly, and we'll cover her background story real quick. It is pretty interesting. Looking for a way to magically banish the Skylanders, Chaos poured through every dusty scroll and ancient tomb he could find. Upon stumbling across a rare and extremely powerful spell, he began to recite its words. However, he sneezed midway through the incantation. As a result, instead of sending the Skylanders far away, Starstrike was plucked from her home in the distant cosmos and brought into Skylands. Surprised, Chaos thought he'd won a powerful new ally in the mysterious and reserved Starstrike, but she knew evil when she saw it and promptly unleashed her fierce magical powers on him. Word of her victory over Chaos spread quickly, and she was soon asked by Master Eon to become a Skylander. So, pretty cool deal there. Again, when I unboxed her, I think it was like right before or right after Roller Brawl, so it was kind of a bad time to be a Chaos fan when all that went down. That said, regular Starstrike kind of has that like carbon fiber weave. This is like the straight black here. This white, you know, it actually isn't horrible. Doesn't look as good as your standard figure, but little silver medallion here that's supposed to be the magic symbol. It's not great, but it's not horrible either. The facial paint's actually not too bad. The problem is, I think you can kind of make it out there. The little hood there, it's kind of got a scuff on it. Looks like the paint isn't as thick back here. There's more scuffs on the side. Really easy place to tell, you know, here on this one. Let me see if I can get it in focus for you. Come on. Well, it may never happen, but right there you can kind of see it's not as crisp as it should be between her three fingers on the fan. If it would see that side, it's because there's actually white paint where the black should be. Coming around to that back side, you got like a little gouge there. The silver shows through. It's really, I mean, it's not a big deal, but like I said, I know some of you want everything to be perfect. That's why I caution you when you're shopping for Enchanted LightCore Starstrike. Go ahead, take your time, comb through some. You can probably find a better figure. Now, base typical magic element logos there. The blue indicates that she is a Swap Force character. That's about it. We'll go ahead. Her stats should mirror exactly what we have with the other Starstrikes. Max health 260, speed 43, armor 12, critical hits 6, elemental power 25. Now, the money shot here, and again, check the blog. I will have pictures not only of Enchanted LightCore Starstrike, but also LightCore Starstrike. All three of the Starstrikes together, pretty much any shot combination you'd want, all the magic characters, etc. So we're going to go ahead and fire up my trusty old portal. Funny story, the Fun Play Hideaway from Power A is back there. It's kind of like my backdrop, if you will. Let's see if I can get you that direction. And if you know, right there behind Barkley is the pitfall. That pitfall is designed to hold the portal of power. Now, I had this portal of power sitting in there, and it actually fits and blends in so well. I spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out where my wireless portal was. So the one right back there behind Chill and Tree Rex, that is actually the Bluetooth portal that came with Skylanders Battlegrounds, which I've never had the batteries in it. So needless to say, this portal was literally right under my camera, and I spent about 10 minutes looking for it, trying to figure out what I had done with it. So again, funny story there, but again, that's kind of a speaks volumes for how well that Power A stuff kind of works out for you. Now, without further ado, we're going to fire this bad boy up. Hopefully this doesn't trip the game or something. There's that light up effect. It actually looks really good with the white. I think that kind of makes it look like it's a little bit brighter. What I will do, I'll set her down, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually kill the camera, and then I'll come back. I'll go ahead and grab the other two Starstrikes, since I should have done that already. But like I said, it's sometime after 4 in the morning, so kind of bear with me. But we'll get my usual detailed thoroughness here, showcase all the figures for you, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so now we are back in business. This is LightCore Starstrike. Again, note the black on the skirt. Let me go ahead and grab her. Side by side, you can kind of see what they've done here. The sad thing is, on Enchanted Starstrike, I feel like they could have done the trim colors a little bit better. If you look at the fan, we had gold, purple, and then blue. Whereas on this fan for Enchanted, you've got silver, white, and white, or a cream color. The hood is the same way. You kind of see she's got like the lavender and the blue, where all of this is cream. The black mirrors perfectly, but Where this has the purple and the blue, you've got straight cream, if you will. It's almost like an Oreo color. But nonetheless, I do need to get her out in the sun, and maybe, whenever she lights up, maybe or changes colors, I should say, maybe that'll kind of offset. We kind of can't pass judgment just yet. That said, I'm going to put her back on the portal. I actually think I like that light up effect better because of the cream color. It just looks like it's brighter. Now I'm going to take LightCore Starstrike, set her down. I'd kind of forgotten how bright that was. Let me go ahead and pick this up here for you with the lights on in the room. Side by side, they look pretty cool. That would be a nice battle mode for my nephew and I to kind of go after. But I'll set these two ladies down, I should say. I'll go kill the lights, we'll take a look at that, and then I'll kind of end it with a comparison to regular Starstrike. Alright, so from a distance, it's almost like I was looking at just a couple of LEDs pointed at, which I guess that's basically what we are looking at. But if there is a little bit more light seeming to you, I don't think you can really tell, but my TV's on. It's got the communications with the Wii Remote have been interrupted message. Nonetheless, this one that I'm spinning is Enchanted LightCore Starstrike. With all the cream, I mean, she literally lights up better. But again, that's to be expected. Obviously, white's going to reflect more light than a darker color like a blue or a purple. Let me put this character side by side there. Shining, you can see what I'm twirling there. Not with those colors, it worked better when it was a little darker. But Enchanted actually looks better with the lights out, in my opinion. You don't, again, because of the darker colors on standard LightCore Starstrike, can't really appreciate that. But there they are side by side. Again, I'll have pictures kind of mimicking this on the blog if you need to see it up close and personal. I'll set them down, we'll come back, I'll kill the portal, and we'll do our comparison. Alright, so there they are one more time with the lights on in the room. We'll go ahead and kill the power to the portal. Try to save those batteries, milk them for all I can. Haven't had to change those in a while. Nice change of pace. That said, you noticed I mentioned earlier, standard Starstrike had a carbon fiber weave on the skirt. I still haven't figured out why, but it looks really, really cool, and it's not something that's featured on the LightCore characters, despite the fact that they cost an extra $3. Something else of note, now that we've got all three of them, standard Starstrike, gold medallion, obviously pose is just slightly different. I mean, it's really almost even, inconsequential, but gold medallion here on LightCore Starstrike. Then on Enchanted, there we go, it is a silver medallion. Obviously, again, gold on the trim of the fans on the two, standard and LightCore Starstrike. Then Enchanted Starstrike has silver. So, like I said, we need to get her in the sun before we pass final judgment. But not quite sure she can live up to this. That said, with the lights out, she does look better just because the cream reflects a little bit more. You can tell right here on my standard Starstrike, she's got that gouge in that right eye. I guess she's like a hard figure to paint or something. That said, Enchanted Starstrike, she's not alone. Obviously, you've got Starstrike and LightCore Starstrike. But if you recall, earlier in the year at launch, the other character that I had an extremely hard time getting, Enchanted Hootloop. Now, Hootloop, I don't have him here. I'll have pictures on the blog. But this is Enchanted Hootloop, where you had the purples and the golds. You kind of got the blue. Obviously, I feel like that is a black on Starstrike, and it's a legit blue on Enchanted Hootloop. I don't know what that is. It's like a serious blemish or something. But anyway, I'll try to actually take both of these to work with me, as weird as that seems, because usually I'm not home with daylight much, except the early evening. Nonetheless, I'll try to get them to work. Maybe I can get a picture in on a lunch hour or afternoon break or something. If not, I'll try to remember to do that. I really want to see how the colors change. I've had Hootloop with me in the on my way to work a few times, but it was always overcast for some reason. So maybe I'll get lucky there. If I do, I'll add those pictures to the blog. But that is that. This is Enchanted LightCore Star Strike. She is exclusive to Walmart. Price is going to be $12.96. Again, I've been checking religiously since she started hitting the U.S. and never could find her at my local stores. I went into several of the Walmarts, including the one that has, like the best management of the new things. Don't know what the deal is. They actually have overall more Skylanders than Toys R Us. Toys R Us was king of the hill until the Lego movie display came in, and then that kind of like just shrunk down the Skylander selection. But nonetheless, Enchanted was there. Instead of being like a series of like 3 or 4 pegs where I could like quickly guesstimate, she was just strung out all over. They have like the aisle, and there's actually 2 sides to it now. I was kind of impressed, but there'd be like a peg here, a peg here, a peg there. It's just kind of weird. It wasn't orderly at all. So that said, there were probably, if I would have taken the time to comb through everything, I wouldn't have been surprised if I couldn't have found like 20 of them. So don't think you'll have trouble finding her. It's just you got to wait out until she shows up or somebody actually gets the box out of the back and stocks them, which is probably the case at my local stores in terms of the holdup. That said, she looked pretty awesome on the portal, I think in part because of her Oreo-esque lighting dynamic capabilities. Again, that probably doesn't make sense, but it's like 4:20 in the morning or something, so just, wing it with me. That said, I'm going to quit rambling, get this video editing so I can get it uploaded tonight. Springtime Trigger Happy and Punk Shock both live on YouTube. Punk Shock's blog post is complete. I've just got to edit the pictures. I just remembered that some of those are too big. While this is rendering, I'm going to go in and I will go ahead and get all the pictures for Enchanted LightCore Star Strike. So if you want to see her and LightCore Star Strike on the portal, all the magic characters, everything like that, just take that link at the top of the video description. It'll take you to the blog. More information, more pictures on Enchanted LightCore Star Strike than you would ever care to know. Again, last thing I can stress, I can't really get the camera to pick up on it. If you were here with me, you would easily see it. But there are some characters that are significantly better visually than others. So if you're a stickler for that sort of thing, go ahead, take your time, comb through it, pick out the best looking paint job for yourself. But I will leave it at that. As Enchanted LightCore Star Strike would say, shoot for the stars.